this is a 30-second question. I think, and it says Mr. Baugh first. What is your position on gun rights?
Support the Second Amendment, right to bear arms, right to have firearms, the law regarding gun permits and so forth, supportive of those, support the rights of hunters and others to, to hunt and that sort of thing. Back in the old days, before my life got turned upside down, I used to go with Dad, and we deer hunted every October. Don't have a pistol, but got several rifles and support that. I've been looking at you. I'm sorry. I don't. How long was that up?
Oh, it's fine.
Well, I am considered probably one of the biggest gun rights advocates on the Hill. I am endorsed by the National Rifle Association. I've received an A+ rating that only counts on persons that have been proactive on gun rights. I fought on the floor of the House and defeated a bill that would have been a gun control measure brought forth by the Democrats that would disallow law-abiding citizens the right to carry concealed weapons in certain areas that have already gone through background checks. I defeated that. I was the one that fought on the House floor. I am serious about gun rights. That's one of the closest things, most dear things to my heart. The Second Amendment is there for a reason. Our founding fathers were right. And that is why I am being fully supported and endorsed by the National Rifle Association.
Thank you, Representative Sandstrom. How can you help law enforcement deal with gangs?
Well, that's a good thing you asked that. I've actually filed a bill at the request of law enforcement here in our county. It's on file that I will carry next year in the legislative session. What this bill does is helps identify gang members or charging people with being a gang member if they are known gang members and have been known to be in gang-like activities. They, as an individual, can be charged with being a gang member. Right now, you have to have 3 together in a group before you can charge them that way. This would change the law to say if one person is a known gang member, you can be arrested and charged with gang-like activities. Now, it sounds simple, but it's extremely important for law enforcement to round up gang members and get them off our streets.
Thank you, Mr. Baugh.
Relationships with law enforcement. I have had a lot of experience in working with chiefs of police and others within the law enforcement agencies in all of Utah County, particularly in the Orem and North areas as a school principal, as superintendent. Strong relationship with each of those, and I believe that because of that, they can share with me their concerns, their issues, the legislation they would like to see put forward, and that I could be effective in moving that forward.
Thank you. Mr. Baugh, what will you do to help oil shale extraction?
We need to look at all of the opportunities for to get us somewhat removed from this crisis that we're in. So oil shale, I'm very interested in the study of that, looking very carefully at that. If we can do something as it regards oil shale and do it without undue cost, if we can do it in a way that doesn't unduly affect our environment, I think it's definitely an alternative we need to look at in the state of Utah.
Thank you, Representative.
Well, I think I'll react to that. As a member of the Natural Resources Subcommittee, I've been proactive. The difference is here, there are firms ready to go. People want to extract the oil shale. We can get it. My opponent would be fighting members of his own party if that's how he feels, because they're opposed to this. Okay? Oil shale is here. We can extract it. We can get it out of the ground in an environmentally sound way. What we need to do is get past those that are blocking it through lawsuits with environmental groups and such. And so, yes, we can do it. We need to do it.
Would you permit a rebuttal if equal time were given? I mean, obviously it would be.
We're going to have a minute at the end. Would that be okay?
Well, no, but I would respect you.
So this is another 30-second question. Steve Sandstrom first. What can you do as a legislator to improve our schools, specifically elementary school class sizes, and improve technology?
Well, to do so, you kind of have to think out of the box. Just to reduce class size by one student statewide costs literally hundreds of millions of dollars. It is incredible the amount, because you need more facilities, you need more teachers. I am all for reducing class size, but there's many ways to think outside the box. Maybe we have a teacher aide that comes in that can keep the kids in smaller groups to work that way, and to maximize time of teachers. Alpine School District's been very proactive with their models where they have the core classes with smaller sizes and then bring more kids together for the non-core activities. I'm all supportive of that. Class size reduction is important, but that's not the only thing we can do. And it's funny that one of the biggest class size reduction things I saw that we could have done was passing a voucher bill and get some of the kids out of the public classrooms and open up space for the kids that need to be there to reduce the class size.
Thank you, Mr. Baugh.
The creative plan used by Alpine School District wherein half the students in a classroom, this is in the elementary grades, maybe first grade and so forth, could come, be taught language instruction, reading skills, literacy, and that sort of thing. The other half of the students are there at the end of the day. This is an excellent way to deal with class size reduction. The only other thing I would add, this is a 30-second question. The only other thing I would add is targeting it to first grade. And then I would do one other thing, at least I would try to work for this in the legislature. The funding that was provided years ago for class size reduction, it wasn't indexed. That is, the next year, the next year, the next year, it wasn't increased proportionally for the teachers that were hired in for class size reduction. Pretty soon you get to a situation with growth where there is no opportunity to have the reduction. All the money is going for growth. So I would make that change.
Thank you. This is the next to the last question, and it's a 30-second question. Mr. Baugh first. What one thing do you hope to accomplish if elected?
One thing. I would like to reverse the trend that I see in this country and to some degree in our state, where there's this sense of public schools are failing, and we have teachers out there that hear that over and over and over again. They're working hard, they're working small, they don't make a lot of money, but they do it because they love kids, and what they tend to hear from government, from big business is, you're failing, you're failing, you're failing. Schools are in place to help kids learn how to live in our democracy. We're trying to provide access to knowledge for all of our kids. We're trying to teach in a caring, loving manner. We're trying to be good stewards. And I'd like to change attitudes if I could.
Thank you. Representative Sandstrom?
Well, there's a lot of things I'd like to continue to accomplish as a legislator. But I think the thing that's closest and most dear to my heart that if I could even chip away at this, would be the greatest accomplishment I could ever do as a legislator, and that is defend the unborn and work to get abortion end in the state of Utah. I have been a proponent of that. I'm pushing a bill once again to do so. I think now's the time, now's the act. The court is the best chance we have to do something about it. Now, that's a huge goal, a monumental task, but if I could say what my overall goal as a legislator, if I could do that, I knew I'd done something right.
Thank you.